Hey 49ers faithful, we're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates on our beloved San Francisco 49ers. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit that like button. This way, you'll never miss any breaking news or exciting updates about the Niners. In a statement that has sent ripples across the NFL landscape, Patrick Willis, the legendary linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers, recently dropped comments that could ignite major debates among fans, analysts, and the team's front office. Speaking in a tone that seemed equal parts candid and concerned, Willis hinted at serious challenges facing the 49ers this upcoming season, framing his message as both a warning and a call to action. While former players occasionally offer insights, Willis's perspective carries weight given his track record and the respect he commands in the league. Sources close to the team suggest that his remarks were not just casual opinions, but stem from conversations he has had with current players and staff. This kind of internal knowledge, combined with his history of defensive mastery, creates a scenario in which fans cannot ignore his words. Social media platforms quickly caught fire after the news broke, with discussions ranging from disbelief to outrage, as some speculate that the franchise may have underestimated certain gaps in their roster. Analysts on sports networks began dissecting his statement almost immediately, trying to understand whether Willis was pointing to a lack of depth, strategic missteps, or a combination of both that might prevent the 49ers from contending at their expected level. The essence of Willis's message seemed to revolve around investment, more than just financial input, but also strategic, personnel, and developmental focus. He didn't shy away from emphasizing that the team must commit resources decisively if it wants to challenge the strongest squads in the league. There is speculation that he referred to both draft picks and potential trade acquisitions, suggesting that staying stagnant could leave the 49ers vulnerable in a fiercely competitive division. Rumors indicate that several high-profile players could become targets for the front office, partly influenced by Willis's candid remarks. Fans on forums have been poring over every word, trying to decipher hidden meaning in his phrasing, which some interpret as a subtle nudge toward immediate action rather than a slow build over the season. The narrative emerging around Willis's comments has also raised questions about leadership within the locker room and how veteran players perceive the team's trajectory. Experts argue that his words, coming from someone with his defensive insight, carry a weight that transcends typical commentary, making it almost a blueprint for potential moves the 49ers might be forced to make. Whether this translates into actual roster shakeups or remains a talking point among insiders is now a matter of intense speculation. Insiders suggest that Willis's remarks were carefully measured, hinting at both urgency and realism, avoiding any dramatic overstatement, yet carrying an unmistakable edge of warning. He seems to acknowledge the talent present on the team, while simultaneously underscoring that talent alone will not secure a successful campaign. Observers point out that his commentary mirrors the frustrations of players who see potential slipping due to structural or strategic gaps. The timing of the statement, just ahead of the preseason buzz, adds another layer of intrigue, as it could pressure decision-makers to act swiftly, lest expectations be derailed. Betting circles, analysts, and even casual fans have started speculating about which positions might see the most attention, interpreting Willis's words as a subtle nudge toward defensive reinforcements or offensive upgrades. Social media reactions have ranged from fervent debate to memes highlighting the bluntness of his assessment, showing how rapidly a single statement can resonate across the football ecosystem. The overall impact of such a veteran voice speaking candidly is that it creates a palpable tension around the team, as if the entire organization has been alerted to a higher standard of urgency. This has led many insiders to wonder whether his influence might extend into shaping draft strategy or trade discussions, given the credibility he maintains among both players and executives alike. Many believe that Willis's assessment could alter how fans and commentators view the 49ers' current roster, sparking renewed debate about the team's true capabilities and potential weaknesses. The rumor mill has gone into overdrive, with analysts suggesting that his insistence on greater investment could signal behind-the-scenes dissatisfaction with management's pace of action. Some speculate that veteran players might now feel emboldened to voice concerns themselves, creating a ripple effect that could either galvanize the team or sow uncertainty. Willis's reputation as a no-nonsense, fiercely competitive athlete adds weight to every phrase he utters, particularly when discussing the operational choices that might define the season. Conversations around his statement have quickly expanded to include potential free agent acquisitions, draft strategies, and even coaching adjustments, all with the implicit understanding that ignoring his advice could have consequences on the field. This dynamic has prompted heated discussions on sports talk shows and fan forums, where every nuance of his language is dissected and hypothetical scenarios are debated at length. As a result, what might have been a simple commentary has transformed into a strategic spark, influencing perceptions of the team's short-term direction and long-term ambition in ways that few outside the organization can fully quantify. Experts analyzing the 49ers situation point out that Willis's insistence on investment isn't just financial. It's also about commitment, preparation, and maintaining competitive standards. He appears to be advocating for a holistic approach, one that considers scouting, player development, and tactical readiness as critical components of a championship-caliber campaign. Rumors suggest that his statements could influence conversations at the executive level, as the organization contemplates moves that might reinforce both defensive solidity and offensive flexibility. Social media discourse has emphasized the urgency implied in his message, with some fans calling for immediate action and others questioning whether the front office has the vision or resources to respond effectively. Willis's commentary also rekindles discussions about leadership dynamics within the locker room, highlighting the role of experienced voices in shaping team culture and expectations. While some commentators stress that such remarks are typical of former players, the specificity and timing of his words set them apart, creating an undercurrent of anticipation around potential signings, trades, and positional adjustments. The speculative energy generated by these statements has already begun to dominate sports talk segments, with pundits weighing the likelihood of various scenarios unfolding in response to his subtle yet pointed criticism. Observers note that the 49ers now face the dual challenge of managing expectations while responding to public scrutiny that has intensified because of Willis's candid observations. Rumors suggest that executives are closely monitoring reactions, perhaps weighing strategic moves that align with the implied recommendations. Fans and commentators are intensely dissecting potential implications, considering which areas of weakness Willis may have subtly referenced without naming specific positions or players. The commentary has also sparked speculation about upcoming draft priorities, trade possibilities, and how the coaching staff might recalibrate strategies to reflect a more aggressive approach. Analysts have highlighted that Willis's call for investment aligns with a broader trend in professional sports, where veteran insight often serves as a precursor to organizational action. The buzz created around his remarks underscores the influence of respected former players in shaping both internal and external perceptions of a team's readiness and ambition. With the offseason already a hotbed of movement, Willis's statements add another dimension, a sense of urgency, and perhaps a gentle challenge to ensure that decisions are made not only with immediate gains in mind, but also with long-term sustainability and championship aspirations guiding the process. Finally, speculation about Willis's motivations has become as much a part of the conversation as the statement itself. Some insiders argue that he is protecting the legacy of the 49ers, advocating for measures that could help sustain competitiveness and maintain the team's historical prominence. Others suggest that his words are a strategic effort to influence public opinion and indirectly nudge management into action. Regardless of intent, the result is a wave of discussion, analysis, and conjecture that continues to grow each day. The impact on fans is palpable, with social media conversations oscillating between excitement and concern, and commentators highlighting the rare instance when a former player's voice might genuinely shift organizational thinking. Willis's commentary is being treated as a roadmap by some, a warning by others, and a catalyst for debate by everyone, demonstrating the unique power of an athlete whose insights extend far beyond personal performance to touch on the strategic heartbeat of an entire franchise. The echo of his words is already shaping the narrative around the 49ers, influencing perceptions of readiness, ambition, and the concrete steps that might define their upcoming season. Whispers around the league suggest that Patrick Willis's remarks may have triggered an internal debate within the 49ers front office, with executives reportedly reviewing every potential move to ensure the team does not fall behind its division rivals. Sources close to the organization indicate that his call for investment is being interpreted as a subtle endorsement for immediate action, whether through free agency acquisitions, draft strategy adjustments, or tactical shifts in player deployment. Fans and analysts have latched onto the statement, debating which positions might receive priority attention and speculating about the types of players that could transform the team's competitive outlook. The rumor mill is particularly focused on defensive reinforcements, aligning with Willis's expertise, but there is also chatter suggesting that offensive upgrades may be just as urgent, as the current roster faces questions about depth and versatility. Social media has exploded with discussion, theory crafting, and even memes highlighting the tension between expectation and reality, as every word from Willis seems to carry strategic weight. Insiders hint that locker room morale could be subtly influenced by the statement, as younger players may interpret it as both a challenge and an opportunity, creating an environment ripe for heightened performance pressure. Analysts argue that his input could catalyze decisions that might otherwise be delayed, underscoring the rare influence a retired player can exert on operational planning. The ripple effect of Willis's commentary extends beyond immediate roster concerns, hinting at deeper philosophical questions about the 49ers' approach to competition and ambition. Sources speculate that his insistence on investment encompasses not only player acquisition, but also coaching strategies, training methodologies, and analytical support structures, signaling a comprehensive approach to building a championship contender. There's growing chatter among pundits that his perspective may subtly shape trade discussions, particularly with teams holding high-value draft picks or underutilized talent that could address perceived gaps in San Francisco's lineup. Fans are dissecting every interview, replaying nuances in tone and phrasing, attempting to decipher which aspects of the roster Willis considers critical and which areas he sees as urgent priorities. The rumor landscape has expanded to include potential coaching adjustments, with speculation that assistant coaches or positional strategists may gain renewed attention or even face replacement, depending on how the organization interprets Willis's critique. Analysts suggest that the mere act of publicly advocating for investment injects a sense of accountability, pressuring management to demonstrate ambition in tangible ways that resonate with both fans and players. The social media discourse amplifies this effect, creating a feedback loop of speculation, rumor, and anticipation that can subtly influence organizational psychology. Observers argue that this scenario is particularly compelling given the combination of Willis's credibility, timing, and the urgency implied in his words, effectively turning commentary into a quasi-strategic directive. Speculation has intensified about which specific players the 49ers might target to address the concerns highlighted by Willis, with insiders suggesting that defensive positions could see immediate reinforcement. There is talk of veteran signings designed to provide leadership and stability, coupled with strategic draft choices aimed at filling gaps in both the defensive line and secondary units. Analysts are also exploring the potential for offensive acquisitions, as the need for versatile playmakers aligns with Willis's broader vision of investment and proactive team building. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors surrounding potential draft moves have gained momentum, with analysts projecting that the 49ers may prioritize high-impact players capable of immediate contribution, reflecting Willis's implied sense of urgency. Observers argue that these considerations could shape the entire approach to off-season decision-making, influencing both player selection and the timing of trades or signings. Social media chatter is relentless, with fans dissecting mock drafts, evaluating positional needs, and debating which moves would best honor Willis's advisory perspective. Pundits speculate that defensive reinforcements may take precedence, but there is equally strong consideration for offensive versatility, particularly in skill positions where the current roster exhibits limited depth. Insiders hint that the 49ers management may also evaluate coaching alignment, strategic philosophy, and conditioning programs, all under the lens of achieving the heightened performance standards suggested by Willis. Analysts note that this comprehensive approach reflects an understanding that investment is not solely about acquiring talent, but also about creating a system that maximizes potential. The ripple effect of Willis's statement has, therefore, moved beyond simple commentary, influencing both the narrative and strategic thinking surrounding the team. In turn, this dynamic fuels a constant cycle of rumor, analysis, and speculation that dominates fan discussion and media coverage alike. The underlying message is clear. The 49ers may need bold, decisive action to meet the expectations now publicly highlighted by one of the franchise's most respected voices. Beyond roster and draft implications, Willis's statement has sparked speculation about broader organizational changes, with insiders suggesting that management may feel compelled to reassess strategies across multiple fronts. Analysts have debated whether this could include adjustments to scouting priorities, investment in analytics, or reevaluation of training and conditioning programs, all in pursuit of a more competitive edge. Fans are interpreting every word as a hint toward high-stakes moves, generating a climate of rumor that blends hope, anxiety, and strategic conjecture. Social media platforms are abuzz with scenarios involving blockbuster trades, surprise signings, and calculated draft gambles, all viewed through the lens of meeting the ambitious standard implied by Willis's comments. Experts note that the timing of the statement, just ahead of the regular season, intensifies scrutiny on the front office and amplifies pressure to act swiftly and decisively. Internally, whispers suggest that player evaluations are being conducted with renewed rigor, factoring in performance potential, positional versatility, and alignment with long-term team objectives. Analysts also speculate that veteran leadership may be emphasized, not only to guide on-field performance, but also to cultivate a culture of accountability and strategic awareness. The cumulative effect of these rumors is a heightened sense of urgency, a swirl of anticipation, and a narrative in which every offseason move becomes a potential response to the directive embedded in Willis's unexpected commentary. Some insiders hint that Willis's influence could extend into the psychological dynamics of the team, shaping attitudes, expectations, and competitive behavior before the first preseason game. Reports suggest that younger players may feel challenged to elevate their performance, while veterans could perceive an implicit endorsement to take ownership of leadership roles. The rumor mill has extended to consider not just player acquisitions, but also potential coaching innovations, strategic experiments, and adjustments to practice intensity, all designed to meet the perceived standard of excellence highlighted by Willis. Analysts emphasize that these changes would not merely be reactive, but part of a broader effort to position the team as a serious contender, capable of navigating the demands of a rigorous NFL season. Fans are engaging with speculative discussions that range from trade packages to draft priorities, creating a high-energy dialogue that both reflects and amplifies the stakes implied by Willis's message. Social media chatter oscillates between excitement, anxiety, and tactical conjecture, illustrating the broad impact of a single voice carrying authority, credibility, and foresight. The interplay between commentary, rumor, and strategic anticipation generates a narrative that continues to evolve daily, keeping fans and analysts alike on edge as they try to predict the 49ers' next move in response to the implicit challenge embedded in his remarks. The conversation surrounding potential free agent acquisitions has intensified, with speculation that the 49ers may explore high-profile signings to immediately bolster both offensive and defensive depth. Analysts suggest that such moves would align directly with Willis's emphasis on investment, reflecting a commitment to maintain competitiveness while addressing gaps highlighted by his commentary. Fans are generating endless scenarios, debating which players could fit seamlessly into the roster while meeting the elevated standards implied by his statement. Social media platforms amplify these discussions, with influencers, commentators, and casual fans weighing the feasibility, impact, and potential risks of each hypothetical acquisition. Insiders indicate that draft strategy discussions are increasingly informed by the notion of immediate contribution, with talent evaluations focusing not only on long-term potential, but also on readiness to perform under pressure. Analysts suggest that the combined effect of public commentary, rumor, and insider speculation creates an environment in which organizational decisions are both influenced and scrutinized more intensely than usual. Observers note that this dynamic can accelerate strategic planning, prompt proactive moves, and heighten fan engagement, resulting in a multifaceted impact that blends rumor, analysis, and expectation into a continuous cycle. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.